Hi guys.
Today we will be talking to Namit.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Namit. I'm an aspiring pilot.
How have you been? What have you been doing?
Not much really. I haven't been doing a lot. I would say I could be worse right now, but somehow I'd say I'm okay. Because for a person like me, I overthink a lot. So
Is like
hmm,
flying and what's going on right now something that is making you overthink?
that too I would say. Like obviously because the job scenario in the aviation industry is kind of like dicey right now. I would say we don't really know what's going to happen, what's going to unfold after this virus. I don't think it'll ever end. I wouldn't say end, but whenever things are under control.
But
Yeah.
what have you been doing that has been helping you stay sane?
Not a lot, to be honest. In the start, when the lockdown happened, I wasn't doing like anything, to be honest, for the first 15 days. Then, like, it hit me that I need to start doing something at least because this is really not healthy for me. So then I started working out every day. Otherwise, yeah, I don't do a lot. I'm watching movies, Netflix. I play video games, and then sometimes I go for a drive. Like,
So
to be
all of
honest.
that is what is helping you stay sane in this craziness. Would you
Yeah, I mean, you.
like you said that you would overthink a lot before and you said that you're doing better than what you expected.
I wouldn't say this is helping me. Honestly, I feel like it's gotten better with time, and like I feel that I handle the stress or the overthinking part better now. These things that I do throughout the day do help me,
It's a distraction.
like do keep me. It is a distraction, yeah, I would say. But I wouldn't say that I don't overthink now. Or like I completely don't overthink right now. I do, but then as soon as I do, I try to distract my mind.
Recently I've started doing meditation.
Is
Wow,
that
I
helping?
think, is
I
it helping?
um maybe, I'm not sure, it's not been
I
that.
don't think it yeah.
So
See, the problem with me is I feel when I'm meditating also I will overthink.
Because you
That,
have that
like,
nothing to do and
exactly.
it's just about taking 3 minutes out of your day just to sit and like gather your thoughts. So something that they talk about is how you don't have to stop your thoughts. It's like watching cars on a road. So sometimes there's a lot of rush, sometimes it's almost empty. So
Hmm.
it's, you have to kind of figure out how you can be a spectator to that for just like 3 minutes and not like go in the middle and be hit by one of those cars. So
True.
that's just something, and then it's something to think about. Like, you just need to, I don't know, like take a few deep breaths and like just just try and find your center somewhere somehow.
But like
Yeah.
a lot of people from like my industry also have told me that you should meditate and stuff. It's
Hmm.
necessary. So I
Yes,
think I will try.
your thing
Yeah.
is, your like flying is such a high stress job. Like literally
Exactly.
people's lives are in your hand and you take one wrong decision in the course of one flight.
See, this is a very
That
funny
and the
point.
hours
Like
also.
when I'm actually flying, I don't stress a lot. Like that is the only point in my life when I'm stress free. It's like
Hmm.
I think it's now because I've just started out.
I feel like from whatever I've gathered, I mean, I'm not like,
Hmm.
I can't say for sure, but from whatever I've gathered, I don't think flying is stressful. The everything around it, from the
Right, right.
hours to
Yeah,
the
right.
travel to the entire process
The sleep
of
schedule,
getting, yeah,
everything.
of getting
Exactly.
into
Yeah.
being able to like fly that plane for a few hours is what
Right.
causes the stress more than the
Exactly.
flying.
So that moment when I'm in the cockpit flying, that is, I don't think that will be stressful, but the other things post
Hmm.
and pre
Yeah.
flying will like lead to
Yeah, because there's so
stress.
many factors that are involved.
Right.
Like, what are some of the
Hmm.
challenges you faced, like flying before all this COVID stuff happened?
Um, I'd say before COVID started, I was already quite stressed out because I was converting my license from an American license, that is the FAA, into the DGCA Indian license. It's almost been more than a year now since I've come back from the US, and since then I've been converting my license. So it has not been easy since then because I also just want to get at it and I just want to start working and flying. So yeah, it's been quite a journey for me. But now after COVID, I can't really say because no one knows what's going to happen. But the aviation industry has taken a very hard hit, and like it's about demand, and I don't think there'll be demand for like travel demand after this because a lot of people are scared to travel because of the virus, firstly, and I am pretty sure the prices of the tickets will go up. So I don't think that it's going to be an easy journey ahead. But then again, I don't think I'll give up. I wanted to become a pilot since I was a kid, so definitely I'll work hard and like work my way around it, I think.
So, would you consider trying something else? But like, that's the problem though. Like, nobody else is doing anything.
Exactly.
The best. Oh man.
So I don't really know. Like, I can't think of anything else that I can take up as a profession. But definitely, I will have to. I mean, not because like I won't ever get a job as a pilot, but also because I want to work now. So definitely, like if I won't get a job as a pilot, I will consider doing something else. I don't know what that is as of now. I definitely have to think about that.
Like everyone like needs to be able to adapt to the situation. Like even for
Yeah,
Exactly.
us, like we had a full artsy goal in mind. Ki we'll do this and that and this and that, and now
Yeah.
we're just like, oh shit.
This
but
whole
for me
thing
also,
about
like when I quit engineering, like now I feel that if I did finish, like if I did pursue it, and then I would have become a pilot, then at least I would have a backup option. But then again, you cannot think of everything in life. Life
yeah.
just comes and
And especially not something like this.
exactly,
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, this is
So
not something that anyone would ever expect.
um,
like I feel you cannot really plan out your whole life. You just have to go with
Yeah, you
whatever
can't.
comes your way. You cannot even think that, oh, why is it me? Why is it happening to me? Because at the end of the day, if you look at it, it's just happening to everyone out there.
Every,
yeah, like
yeah.
And like it's just different scenarios for everyone, but at the end of the day, everyone is going through it, and
Yeah.
but yeah,
that is true.
it's hard for everyone right now, regardless. So
But I'm sure it'll
As you
get
said.
better. I mean, you
hopefully,
have to
Yeah,
have
I mean
hope.
it's just
Hopefully, it
exactly.
should be better. Yeah, you cannot just stop and
living.
like be like your life is miserable and like you have to
Yeah,
move
that's
on from
not gonna
everything.
get
So
anyone anywhere. Exactly. You
exactly,
have to
exactly,
have for example, when we were in college, we had these very like idealistic views of the kind of things we do and that we're not going to fall into this particular thing or just plans for ourselves and how we saw ourselves. But now it's like as you sort of progress, you sort of realize that things don't always go the way you planned them or how you want them to.
Never do.
And I guess they never do. And then, but eventually, if you have that goal clear in your mind, then you just take small steps towards
exactly. But I
make it
guess like when you're in college, it's the right thing to be ambitious, and like
happen.
you're in college, you want to be ambitious. You want to think about what you're going to do after college, or like
Yeah.
what are you going to do for work. I think
Hmm.
that's okay, but it it doesn't really. I mean, for some people, it does go out as planned, but for some
Hmm. It
it
doesn't.
doesn't, and which is
But
okay. I mean,
hmm.
eventually people figure it out, I think,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
in the figuring out phase. Like,
Everyone, I think
Yeah,
everyone is right now.
yeah,
It's
that's
like,
actually,
true,
I think this
actually.
age only.
Everyone of every age is figuring it out right now. I didn't think of it like that.
right.
Oh. So, despite all the hurdles you've been facing, how do you manage to be motivated and stay passionate about aviation?
I just feel that I've put in so much now that it's pointless, like looking back or like not being into it completely, because like even for example, even for a second, if I think, oh, this is too much, I can't take it, this the next second my second thought is that, oh shit, but I've put in so much, how can I be demotivated now, how can I let it go now? I've dreamt about it so much, I've given it so much, I've literally given it my blood, sweat, everything, whatever I had. So now I don't think there's a point to like give up or not be motivated. I mean, I do have sad times where I think that, how am I gonna get through this, or like, what am I gonna do? What's my next step gonna be? But then I know myself, like I know that when the time comes, when all this is sorted out, when the situation goes by, I will give in my 100% to like get back, or to make sure that I stand somewhere in like between all this. So I know myself, and I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna figure it out and do something about it. Apart from me giving like my profession so much, like another thought that comes into my mind is my parents, because like they've invested so much in it. Like I'm talking about the financial part of it. Like
Hmm.
it's a very hefty amount, and I'm super like lucky. I have parents who understand what I want to do, and despite of me dropping out of college and like leaving engineering midway, they understood that this is what keeps me happy. So they did not give it a second thought or be like, no, how will you do it? They believed in me. So that's another thing that comes to my mind whenever I get demotivated. So that keeps me going.
Like, right now, because you're waiting for your license to come, and obviously like the DGCA is shut and everything, so you don't know when you'll get it. And like there's so many other things about, like, the whole flying scene right now that is so uncertain and stuff. So how do you deal with it?
When I started out, I definitely wasn't as patient as I am now. So if not anything else, like getting into this field has definitely taught me how to be patient, and knowing the system that it will take time, no matter how hard you push it, no matter what you do, it will take time, and then eventually you will come out on the brighter side and it will happen. So that's my way of dealing with it. Like now I just let it go, and I let things take their own course, and just like sit it out. So that's what I do.
That's not surprising. I before going to college and everything, I always thought that okay, flying is something that would be like the fastest way to get somewhere because it takes not so much time. But
So
now that you're saying all of these things, I'm slowly realizing that okay, maybe that is not the case. Like it's
the
perception where people
flying
like
part is
flying as
actually
in
not
like
so complicated. The flying part is actually not so complicated. It's the paperwork that comes with it. It's like your
hmm,
licenses, there are so many
hmm,
exams, there are so many papers, there
hmm.
is a bunch of documents, that there is a bunch of government stuff that you need to go
That's
through,
not in your
clearances,
hand.
medical, everything that takes a lot of time. And
Yeah.
it just like there are so many people into it, and like, so yeah, it just takes time. So you cannot really
Hmm.
push it, you cannot really do anything
Yeah,
about
it's
it,
not
so
in
you
your
just
hands
might
at
as
the
well
end
wait
of
it
the
out.
day.
Exactly. For a layman, for a layman, like they wouldn't know what comes, like what amount of paperwork or what amount of rules, regulations are
Hmm.
linked with flying. Like people just think, okay, we get into an aircraft, we fly the plane, we land it, we get out of it, and that's that.
Exactly, because like people think that our field like the creative field is also something that, oh, you're living the life and you're living like
Right, right,
working
right.
on your own terms, and then it sounds all rosy and amazing, and then
But
but
no, honestly, like when I think of it, I feel like you guys are outstanding because like the thought process that goes into creating something is like I would never be able to do that.
yeah. But I've actually gotten a lot of like people, or even like if you look at like older adults when they're just like, oh, so you don't have a job, how are you going to earn? And they just automatically assume that you're not, you're doing nothing with your life and you're just like having fun. And it's so frustrating because it's the complete opposite of that. It's like your entire life is work. There's no
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
separation from it. But Ravya, how do you deal with the uncertainty of this creative field that we are in?
Like, okay, there was a brief time, like when I was a kid, that I wanted to be a detective and I wanted to be a vet. But those dreams fizzled out pretty quick. But like being in the creative space was always, it was it was just a no-brainer for me. So I did design communication in college, but that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I kind of did it because it was like a safe bet. So like, I mean, even though it was in the creative space, I did it because, you know, like later on there are more opportunities for graphic designers and stuff like that. So like that's why I did it. And I figured that, you know, once I have that skill set, then I can do other things that I actually do want to do. But, and I think, like, even though those 3 years that I was doing it, I was not the happiest about doing it. It was brutal at some points. But, like, overall, I am glad that I did it. And that, like, because now looking back, it definitely taught me a lot. And being uncertain, I mean, the uncertainty, like right now, of course, after college, that's like I did want to do something that wasn't so designer, but um now we have to do that because just because there are many reasons why. But so in many ways it feels like I'm just going to start doing again what I initially didn't want to do. But I mean, I guess like it'll pass also with time and just get through it for a few, hopefully not many years. But Sanya, how are you dealing with uncertainty since you did fine arts? So that is a even more uncertain space.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
And
Why do you say it's an even more uncertain space?
because there's no jobs in finance. There's no
So
particular
you
job
just have
that
to
you
do
can.
your thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, more or less. Basically, I think my story with uncertainty started really long back when I first went to art class. Okay, and that the teacher there asked me कि अच्छा तुम्हें करना. I think this was like eighth ninth grade, so I wasn't like that young also. But he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said that मेरे को क्रिएटिव फील्ड में कुछ करना है बट मुझे नहीं पता क्या. सो देन ही इज लाइक कि थोड़ा तो बताओ कि तुम्हें ऐसा चीज पसंद है, तुम्हें फैशन डिजाइन पसंद है, तुम्हें क्या पसंद है. And I had no idea that okay, there are multiple fields that you need to like choose from even within the creative space. And so I saw a lot of like paintings hanging in his house, and I told him that I want to do something that is like this, like I want to make this kind of stuff. And he just laughed, like he looked at me and he laughed for 2 minutes at my face, and I was
Like,
so
oh
confused.
no, you're
He was
doomed.
like, yeah, exactly, it was that. And I was like, what? He's like, तैयार हो जाओ बेटा, बहुत मुश्किल लाइफ है आगे, कुछ पता नहीं क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा. And I'm like, this is the first time I've entered your art class, and why are you discouraging me like this?
Like my art teacher was like the one person who really like did get me into art like properly.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
and I don't know, had I not gone to that art class, I don't know what would have happened. Like, what was really nice about her was like, and I think that's what really got me into it, was she would not tell us what to do. Like a lot of art classes and stuff, they tell you that, you know, this is how you make a vase or a flower or a person's face or whatever. But she never did that. So throughout that art class, I went there for 12 years. Throughout that art class, I did not learn the right way to do anything.
Yeah, so uncertainty is something that has been there. People have been preparing me for it indirectly by like just shitting on my decisions of taking fine arts and not doing like a conventional job. And they're
And
like,
as
why are
long
you
as you
doing
know
that?
what you're doing and you're focused, it's fine. So,
But the thing is like right now it's everything is confusing, right? You never know whether the decision you're making is ideally the right decision. You just
but
know
you
that it's
never know that. You
right.
will never know that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I guess you just take it day by day, do everything you can, explore as much as you can, and don't listen to anybody else and their opinions of how you can earn money, because
Like even for me, I had this phase where a lot of people told me, "Don't become a pilot. There are no jobs. You'll be waiting." Then I know someone's daughter or someone's son who was a pilot, but he did 10 years ground jobs, and then now he's a pilot. So like, there are a lot of
the
people who will
thing,
try to put you
yeah,
down.
the more you listen, like it scares you also, but in the end, you have to do what's right for you.
Exactly.
And you'll make mistakes. I think everybody will make mistakes and makes their own mistakes. But the thing is that if you're learning from them, then it's worth it.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to us. Yeah, we hope you fly soon and everything gets sorted.
I hope so too. I hope so. The skies are waiting for me.
Okay, bye.
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 Turn your can'ts into cans and your dreams into plans. I'm going to clap at myself because nobody is clapping.
Hi guys, I'm Namit Chopra. I mean, I didn't have to say my full name, but whatever. So I'm an aspiring pilot. You shut up.
I'm stuck in Kani Garki again.
Do it the Ace family way. What's
Oh.
going on, everybody?
Bye. Oh, damn.
Find something interesting out of this. This is the best I can do.
That
देखो
PUBG खेलना था मुझे.
कितना खेलोगे बस करो.
you don't sound so bored, please.
Trick. Oh, shit.